What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. I don't want to waste too much time, so we'll just jump straight into the video. Today I want to talk about my carry setup, specifically my optic on my carry setup. This is a Glock 48 MOS. I'm sure 99% of you are familiar. If you are not, it is Glock's subcompact pistol, very similar to the Glock 19. Just significantly skinnier. It has the same dimensions, same slide length, same grip length, just probably half the width, which is kind of nice for concealing. But like I mentioned, what today I want to talk about is the optic I have on here. This is the RFX11, sorry. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I am I'm a huge fan of Viridian. I've carried their RFX11, their full-size optic for, I don't know, past 2 years probably. Have probably like 5,000 or 6,000 rounds through it. No failures, no issues. My first one, I had an emitter issue, but I think that was factory related. I had never shot it, it just out of the box had some hiccups. They were very quick to respond to my warranty claims and got it squared away pretty quickly, which is kind of nice. So customer service has always been pretty good. Anyways, this is the baby brother. Hopefully you can kind of see here. Hopefully it'll zoom in nicely. It's the, like I said, RFX11. You'll probably say or think it looks a lot like the 407 or 507Ks from Hollow Sun. It is. So I'll show you here, right? No magazine, nothing in the firearm. It is, hopefully you can see, almost right there. It's a green dot, which I personally prefer. The dot itself, let me zoom in here for you, try to show you. Hold on, right there. Super crisp, right? Excuse my ugly mug, but that's okay. Green dot, super crisp. It's essentially a clone, right, so to speak, of the 407, 507Ks, which in my opinion is a pretty good optic for these subcompact size pistols. I quickly wanted to touch on the pros and cons of the optic, and kind of give you my breakdown on why I chose it. So again, we'll just jump straight into it, and then we'll talk about it, right? We'll start with the cons, or the pros. Yeah, let's do the cons. Yeah, we'll do the pros, sorry. A couple of the pros that I like. First things first, it is Viridian. I've had really great experiences with them. Like I said, with their full-size optics for the past couple of years. That's the only thing I've shot on my past, probably 3 or 4 handguns. My SIG, my Prodigy, and then all of my Glocks, right? It just, RMR footprint slips right in, done, easy. So the first thing was just it being Viridian and being a big fan. I looked there to see what was available and came across the RFX11. So that's a big plus. The second thing, it is direct mount. So most of these subcompacts have the RMSC footprint, or the little shield optic, which I absolutely despise, especially for the price of, I saw one yesterday, somewhere going for like 280 bucks or something. I don't remember where, but that's absolutely atrocious for that optic, in my personal opinion. No hate to them. So slips right in, right? Comes with the needed hardware to just screw in, and then that's pretty much it, right? So the ease of installation was a big factor for me. I'm not a huge fan of plate systems. I don't think most of us are fans of plate systems on guns, right? It's just not ideal. It creates just an extra level of security, having the plate bolted to the slide and then the optic bolted to the plate. Just too many points of failure for me. So having it be direct mount is a huge plus, and just a convenience factor. The third thing that I think is a big plus for this is the price point, right? So Viridian, in my opinion, is kind of a budget brand in terms of what you pay and what you get, right? I think their full-size optic, the RFX35, and if you go past my videos, you'll see them everywhere. It's the same size as an SRO, same window size, has just about all the features, just doesn't have the name, and maybe isn't made of the same materials, which for me is totally okay. I don't beat the fuck out of these things anyways, right? They're carry guns. I'm not the one to pick it and you know, hammer a nail in, drop it, throw it. It's a carry gun. It stays in my holster 96% of the time, except for when I'm training, which at that point I also don't beat the shit out of them, right? That's just me. So take it with a grain of salt. The full-size optic was $189. This is the subcompact, or the same you know, size as the 407, 507Ks, like I mentioned. The price point on this, I actually got this, I think, off Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Same day shipping, which is like ideal, right? Why not take advantage of that? I think I paid $159. So I think it was like $168 after taxes and everything, because shipping is free. So for this, it is not a bad deal, in my opinion. I know the warranty is great, so if I have any issues, God forbid, I can just warranty it out, which is totally fine. It has held up pretty well. I've shot probably, again, this is no like benchmark for it, but 300-400 rounds through it, just from zeroing and training and going to the range. So far so good. So no complaints there. Like I mentioned, the dot itself, it's kind of hard to see, but super crisp. Being a green dot, my eye picks it up pretty well, which is kind of nice. And again, I've shot green dots for the past couple years, so I'm kind of just used to just looking for it. So it kind of just falls along the line of green dots that I've shot. And that's kind of where the pros end for me. There's not a lot of them, but there's also not a lot of cons either. So we'll also just get into that, just to kind of quickly go through it. And I'll kind of give you my, is it worth it at the end, right? I want to get straight into the cons, because there wasn't a lot of pros, but there also isn't a lot of cons either, in my personal opinion. First things first, maybe my biggest like gripe with this thing, I mentioned the shield and how it's plastic and it's like $300 depending on where you go buy one. At least that's where I saw one last. It was like $290-ish. Is this thing, the optic, is plastic or polymer or whatever kind of plastic material that they choose to use, right? Well, Pedro, if a shield is garbage and it's plastic, then why would you buy a Viridian, right, or this that's also plastic? Well, the difference is it's half the price, right? The shield optic, last time I saw it, and I don't remember where, was $280-ish, like I've mentioned multiple times. This was $160. Being half the price, you kind of get what you pay for, and I can kind of justify it a little bit more that, you know, this $160 makes more sense. I did shoot a Romeo 0, I believe, and the Pro, which I believe are both plastic, on my old Sig Macro, excuse me, and I did not enjoy those. The lens on those were plastic. The emitter wasn't that great, and I just I just didn't like it, right? So that's one of the, if not maybe the most important con on this thing is it's held zero. It's shot great. I haven't had any issues. The dot is super crisp, like I mentioned. But it is made of some kind of plastic, which is not ideal. I know most of us, myself included, prefer some kind of aluminum or metal optic just for more durability, right? All the Holosuns are aluminum or steel or whatever they make them nowadays. So that's definitely something to know, right? If you're looking for it, or if you're interested, it is plastic. So let me just start there, right? The second con, really, after you shoot it for some time, train with it, you kind of get used to that feature, or to this feature, but it is the auto brightness setting. I really don't know why they didn't put buttons on this thing. I do understand it's a small form factor, and you have limited real estate on where to put technology, but since it's damn near the same size as a 407 or 507K, those have buttons. You can squeeze in some buttons here on the side, just one on each, a plus and a minus, because not being able to adjust this thing to your preferred settings is kind of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. 99% of the time it does a job. When I am home dry firing, it's nice and crisp and bright. When I'm out on the range, you can't really see, so I don't know what I'm showing. When I'm out on the range, it's even brighter, right? It adjusts to what it needs to be, so it's pretty good at doing this job. However, there are times where I would like to adjust it and I just can't, right? So just one of those things to keep in mind. To be quite honest, those are the only cons that I have. It's just the quality of the materials. Or it's the type of materials that they chose to build it with, and the auto brightness or lack of brightness adjustment, right? Essentially. So what are my overall thoughts about this thing, right? First things first, I think it's very important to say that for 160 bucks, especially if you're on a budget, which I'm trying to keep this kind of a budget build and not go too hard, I do think it's one of the best optics on the market. Unfortunately, they chose to use some kind of plastic or polymer, right, to mount this thing, which is not ideal in my opinion, like I just said. But from, again, a Romeo Zero, which is I think like 99 bucks, to a Shield, which is mid 200s, this is the perfect kind of middle point if you're looking at optics. If you have the money to spend, I would probably go out and get something like an EPS from Holosun, just because it's enclosed. When you're carrying, you won't run into little lint issues or hair or fuzz. It is a matte finish, which I kind of dig. Kind of falls in line with the all black look, not a whole lot like fancy logoing and lettering, which a lot of the other optics have. I shot it again, 300-400 rounds. It's held up great, no issues. It's Viridian, so I know the warranty's gonna be really good. I would check it out. I would. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to share my thoughts and answer anything that I can. If you're not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. I would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. Huge giveaway at 1,000 subs. Maybe give this thing away fully built. Who knows? And then drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys carry on your subcompacts or compacts or full sizes, right? Whatever you're doing. But I would be very curious to know what kind of subcompact optics you guys are carrying. Kind of the Holosun kind of reigns supreme on those, the 407s and 507s, for good reason. So just let me know, I'm curious. And then like the video if you liked it. Kind of give me some feedback on, you know, if I'm doing things correctly over here, if I'm not. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the RFX11, and then I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.